Okay.
Does it
Hello!
Very good. So just imitate a king cobra if you can.
Does
Shall I
it
take one
hiss?
for the team?
Does it bark?
Oh, you did the hiss.
It wasn't.
No, Alan did the hiss. But you did the bark, so you get
Does
points
it
back for that.
It does hiss.
It barks.
What do you mean it barks?
It barks like a dog. Like a
Who
dog.
does the research for this?
Do you want to hear it?
It just seems that
Hear
we should
one.
get some... OK.
Here we go.
There you go.
There's no way that's a snake.
Cobra. Fact.
Bring him out. Bring him out.
Just to prove it. You thought he was over and over, but he's here tonight. Please welcome. Sorry.
Can we hear that again?
Stephen Fry's
Can I just say
Okay.
it was a guess?
barking cock-alike.
It's a battery noise. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like if we played that a few times, it would sound like the TARDIS. Should we just
Okay, keep going.
see if we can play?
That is.
In any way, it has a little sort of special place in its trachea and a kind of kazoo-like membrane, and it makes that noise.
I'm surprised we didn't know that.
So,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Kazoo. A kazoo-like
Well, a
membrane.
membrane, yeah. Well, it doesn't sound like one, I grant you. No, I grant you, it doesn't sound like one.
OK.
What else is interesting about king cobras? How venomous are they? How much venom?
Really venomous.
Yeah, they have more venom than any other snake, but it's not
Yeah.
as venomous, but they just have more of
They
it.
got more of it, and they envenomate more often,
They venomate a lot.
and they chase you.
Yeah, so they're really bad. So
Well,
one,
they
they can kill
chase you while barking.
It's warning enough to stay away.
Yeah.
You can kill 20 men with one bite, or one elephant.
One bite can kill 20 men.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, it's... No, you're not going to get 20 men who are linked unless you've been watching Human Centipede or something. A strange number of the audience. So, now... Oh, dear, why are we just always in this region? It's so unfortunate. Why might a Frenchman want this up his bottom?
Because the French love shoving things up their bottom.
Oh! It's true that if you ask for an aspirin in France, they will do their first action
straight
is
up the
to...
bottom.
Is it to get tapeworms?
No, it is a surgical instrument, and it was devised for one particular... What's our theme this evening?
Kings.
Who's the most famous king of France?
Louis XIV.
Louis the
Louis XIV, the Sun King.
Yeah.
And he was very fond of riding and enemas, as they all were in those days. And
Was he constipated often?
it was worse than that. He developed a condition which has a particular name. And
Fecal concreting.
it's in the fecal area. It's when a duct appears between two organs and connects them. They shouldn't be connected. It causes great pain. And it's called...
That's a hernia.
It means a little pipe in Latin.
Ask Ribcage Man, he'll know.
It means a little pipe, and it is... Fistula.
Fistula.
So they're very good, this audience.
So are we doing that sort of QI historical embarrassing bodies?
Anyway, Louis XIV had a terrible fistula, and his doctor... That's the dilator. That's the dilator.
That's what they use for the common man when
The king had to have that too. He had to dilate it with that. I'm afraid that would have hurt a lot.
Yes, but I'm sorry, we still haven't got to why you'd want to put a cobra up his bottom.
Well, that was in order to pierce and slice the fistula so that it healed.
What?
Yeah, and it worked.
Really?
It worked. So Felix Tassi, who was the name of the doctor, was given an estate and became hugely popular, and no less than 30 courtiers mimicking the king said, yeah, actually, I've got one of those too. You know, it's a really cool thing to have. Suddenly, having a fistula was the thing at Versailles. So he had this huge order book, basically. But to be fair to him, he didn't perform the operation on anyone who didn't need it. He was good enough to spot when people were faking just by trying to mimic a king.
So was that invented for the king?
Yes,
so presumably
it was
the doctor
precisely
said,
made for the king.
come in, pop up on the table,
Yep.
Yeah.
pop that off for me,
Yep.
and I'm just going to put this up your bum. If it doesn't work...
What is the instrument on the left, then? What is that called? Does that have a name?
I don't know if it actually has a name. I guess it's a fistula.
It's called a...
a fistula.
I imagine it's now used as a toothpick, of course.
Yeah, that's the King's Relief.
A fistula,
If you want to
scalpel or
pick your
curvet.
teeth from the back of your throat, it comes out.
Oh,
I
dear.
can't get to my back tooth. Don't worry, sir, we'll go in the other way.
But as I say, the weird thing is that 30 courtiers pretended to have this condition so that they could sort of boast about having had the royal operation. Anyway, moving on. What has 20 legs, 5 heads, and can't reach its own nuts?
Wait, hold on. 20 legs, what?
5 heads.
5 heads.
Yep.
Westlife.
Oh, you're so lucky. You're so lucky, because I know what the klaxon was.
I presume the klaxon, shall I?
Yeah, go on.
One Direction?
It's so behind, Jeremy. It's very sweet.
Some kind of hideously mutated Tyrannosaurus.
Well, it's got the word
squirrel.
king in it, oddly enough. And
Is
it's
it a plant?
Sounds like a gypsy band, but it's the Squirrel Kings.
Squirrel Kings.
What would Squirrel Kings be?
The best squirrel.
But, yeah.
Well, oddly enough, no, it's really unfortunate. Normally they squirm around and on the trees, but sometimes trees exude a sticky sap.
Yes.
And when that happens and the baby squirrels get their tails in the sticky sap, their
In the
tails
lime.
get stuck together, and you can get this, where they're absolutely stuck together.
Oh, that's fucking hysterical. Seriously, they're stuck together.
You are so bad. The audience goes, oh.
It's not. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard of. And they're never going to be organised enough to all say, right, ready, steady, all run off in different directions. You'll never be able to do that.
But eventually, I'm afraid they will perish.
If you saw the damage squirrels
They do.
they are appalling rats.
Talking of rats, I know people call them tree rats, and the phenomenon was first spotted in rats in Germany, and there are, in museums and universities in Germany, there are examples of huge rat kings where rats have been shoved together and preserved in alcohol. That's a vast one. It's pretty disgusting looking, as you
Rats
can see.
can fall asleep in the sewer, and they sleep together for warmth, and then they can urinate while they're asleep, so they're all just lying in their own
I
urine.
can do that.
And then sometimes it gets so cold that the urine then freezes, and that kills them.
Oh.
They die in their own frozen urine.
Well, thank you for that fact. I'm sure you'll get points.
It's a beautiful story.
It's beautiful. Don't change a word
Which
of it.
trees? Are they lime trees that cause this? I want to know specifically. Is it a lime tree that does it?
Just one that exudes a lot of sticky sap.
Well, that'd
will
be
do
lime,
you. Lime
presumably.
does exude a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And some trees, of course, exude a lot of
You could just
oxygen.
buy some sort of maple syrup, couldn't you, and just put it in the garden?
Well,
Hope
this
for
is
the
what
best.
I'm thinking.
Oh, you are
Treacle.
Right.
Treacle.
What about glue?
Clocks
glue.
in
Glue only sticks people's fingers together. You know that. Everybody knows that. So it's super glue. It's like you nail a car to a wall. Not nail it. Glue a car. You can't. It will only glue.
fingers together.
It will only... And also, have you ever spilt any on your inner thigh?
What are you trying to do?
But it was meant for skin. That's why
It
it's
was
skin.
a battlefield, exactly. The
Yeah.
only thing that's all it can actually do is be a battlefield wound. If you try and glue a teapot lid back together again, you'll
No, it
be
doesn't
stuck.
work, I know.
What was it invented
It was
for?
in the Vietnam
Yeah.
War when they had battlefield wounds and they didn't have access to be stitched up. They would use this. They developed this glue. It sticks skin together. So they seal the wound up, get them back to the triage area,
exactly.
and then treat them.
Especially in hot climates like Vietnam, where infections replicate at double, triple, quadruple the speed that they would here in Britain, say. So you really need to close the wound instanta. Stat, as they say.
Yeah.
How do the tails
In the
get
rat's
stuck
case, I
together?
don't know. They may just have got
Not the
tangled
rats,
and
no,
they
I'm
stuck.
more interested in the squirrels.
I'm not going to be
so
the
they
one
go
who
up the
teaches
tree.
you to murder squirrels.
They must be
It's
when
not
they're little tiny
murdering, it's
babies.
pest control for the sake of Britain's woodland. They go up the tree and they get it on their tail.
Yes.
What makes them then go near another
Well, they
one?
wriggle over each other as they look for their mother's milk, because they're still at that
Oh,
stage.
they're baby squirrels?
Yes, they're babies.
Oh, that's a bit sad.
Oh, he has got a heart,
Oh, he's not a
ladies
tough
and
guy.
gentlemen.
Look at you now.
Yeah.
We'll catch you in a minute. You'll be caught on camera smearing Prit on the bumper of your car. won't you?
All right. Now, how could King's Cross Station possibly be improved?
Turn into a car park.
Wagamama's.
Well, we're in your area,
Haven't
which
they?
is
They've got
transport.
the Harry Potter platform there, haven't they?
They do indeed have the Harry
Well, they
Potter.
should just let the kids go for it, I think. That's how you... Occasionally you see someone
It's
go,
true,
no,
it's
just
true.
don't... There should be someone there going, no, I have to have a proper run.
It's true. This was the plan in 1931.
Oh, to improve it.
Was it
The
the
age
Germans' plan?
Of optimism and pride and speed and machinery and...
Wasn't it after that?
So was the roof... Yeah,
Glass.
it's
Chris
kind of-
Runway.
The roof was flat.
Runway.
Yes. was to have an inner airport for London.
No
on the
way.
roof
What,
of
land?
King's Cross. And look at that design.
What?
How
What's Boris
cool
Johnson
is that?
messing around with the Thames history
Yeah,
when we
no,
could have
isn't
one
that
there?
brilliant?
Well, hang, it's brilliant, apart from whoever's in the middle, where there's going to be some traffic.
Yeah.
It's controlled.
I can see where the crashes are going to take place.
It's controlled.
No, that's
had
a
radio.
Wait a
Same way,
minute. That's
yeah.
a device for gluing squirrels' tails together. Surely.
Isn't it so great, isn't it? And obviously the jet era would have got rid of it because they're not long enough for jet runways, but they are long enough for ordinary prop airplanes.
But light aircraft could land
Yes,
on it.
they
Why would
could.
you? And then people could commute to London and it would be great.
Really great. And they had a series of elevators designed so the airplanes would be hangared in and then lifted up.
That's not just some Form 4B.
They took it quite
homework.
seriously.
That was serious.
Yeah. It is lovely, isn't it? I'm very impressed with it.
Quite difficult to land on a kind of a bend, though, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
I think you used the straight bits.
That would have been an amazing pilot's last words. This is tricky.
Now, why do more than 300 people need to die before you finally get a Burger King?
So it's not actually Burger King with a capital B, capital K, then?
Well, it is actually a capital B, very much so.
A German
it's
type
American.
burger could be,
No, as in burger of
could be
a
a
town.
German,
No, it's
could
kind
be
of
a
thinking, but it's
relative
not.
of the
It's a-
Queen's.
How many?
300 people need to die.
There's a-
Is this King Ralph?
Well, it's like King Ralph. 300 people need to die for this
It's about
burger to be
someone who's
to
the
get a Burger
300th
King.
in line to
So
the
Mr.
More than 300, I said.
Mr.
So in fact,
Burger.
I want to see
There's
Mr.
someone called Burger, Wesley Burger from Oregon, is 305th in line to the throne. So
In his
304
mind.
people are killed, and we, between us, can do it. We'll have a Burger King.
But surely at something like the royal wedding, I often think that when, like, if the roof fell in, heaven forfend, at the royal wedding,
Yes.
you sort of think, well, who would be next? It'd be
That
Fergie.
is-
She wasn't
that is-
invited.
You're right.
They must have had him on the phone going, are you ready? It's your big day tomorrow if this doesn't
Come
work
on,
out.
Wesley. Wesley! Learn the ways of the Force.
Is that actually him?
That's Wesley Burger. This is really interesting, I think. The law has changed, as you probably know, so that now the firstborn will be made monarch, not the first male. So if in 1901, when Queen Victoria died, the law we've now introduced stood, who would have become monarch in 1901?
Well, I couldn't care less, I've just remembered.
I think you could. No, I think you could. It would have been...
Oh, wait a minute.
It would have
Hitler.
been
Is it Hitler?
No, it would have been... Very close. This is the point.
Is it Marty McFly?
No.
Firstborn daughter.
Her firstborn
Her
daughter
firstborn was a daughter. who was
Queen Mum.
Victoria. Her first daughter was Vicky, and
I meant
Vicky
Vicky.
died very soon after her mother. So her son would have been king, and her son was Kaiser William.
Oh.
So, had we had that law, Kaiser William would have been our king.
And we would now be speaking German. Is that
Or
what you're trying
Germany
to say?
would have been speaking English.
I would not be speaking German. I wouldn't have picked it up by now. I'd still be working through my GCSE.
But that is genuinely fascinating.
Wow.
I mean, so in 1914, what would have happened? We would have got rid of the monarchy, probably.
Right.
So
Yes.
many
So
ifs.
many things.
Yeah.
And if somebody had actually got him a horse...
Yes. He wouldn't have died in a car park in Leicester.
No, of course.
I can't believe that as well. It's a hell of an offer, my kingdom for a horse. It was a one-time offer and no one went,
Somebody with
go
a
and have
horse."
my horse.
Yeah.
What else you got?
I want it in cash.
Work out why this is true. No monarch on the British throne has ever been descended from Charles II. But if Prince William becomes king, he will be the first British monarch to be descended.
Because
from
Diana was
Because
descended.
Diana was not just descended from Charles II, she was descended 4 times in 4 different ways from Charles II.
4 different ways.
Yeah. How many ancestors?
Hell of a lady.
Think how many ancestors you have from that period. She's descended in 4 of them, straight from Charles II. Now, what kind of sick person wants to be touched by a member of the royal family?
Quite fancied Diana.
Is Pippa Middleton royal?
No. She's not even a weather girl.
That is perhaps the most snobbish thing that's ever been said.
Not even a weather I think she was descended from the weather girls of Saxe Coburg.
She's very nice, I'm sure. Apparently she has a very nice bottom.
Is this somebody...
Not
who's
really your
ill?
kind of thing, but
No,
yes, she
no,
does.
good.
Is there some
ill?
condition?
Somebody ill, yes. Ill people for hundreds of years would be killed... sorry.
Yeah.
Ill people would be killed to me. Ill people for hundreds of years would be cured by kings of England or indeed France.
It wouldn't really be, though.
No, but it was thought that they were. King's evil was a disease, which was an infection of the lymph nodes, really unpleasant, and it looked like little piglets, which the Latin for was scrofulae. So it was scrofula. You've probably heard the phrase
Yeah,
scrofulus.
yeah.
And it was thought that the king touching her, but the confessor certainly was probably amongst the first to do it, would touch people, and give them a gold coin as well, King's evil. And it was sometimes with a